Sherry, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I very much appreciate your insights.
My
and
pleasure.
sharing your secrets with us.
Thank you.
Well, we actually have a few questions.
Okay.
Okay. So you left your job in order to find work with purpose.
Right.
Do you think all the people who are unhappy in their jobs should look for work with purpose like you did?
Good question. I think the first thing I would recommend is think about what your purpose plan is. Really take the time to write that down and capture that, because you could easily jump from a job that you're unhappy with now to another job that you're unhappy with unless you really have a clear path of where you're going. So that I would recommend as job number one. But number two, start to think about the legacy that you want to leave behind. What are you doing now? How are you treating your colleagues right now? If you were to leave, would they say that you're helping them grow? You're helping them be successful, that they're better off because they know you? Or are you using them as stepping stones to get to the next job? So think about that. And worst case scenario, if you do have to leave your job, you've got your purpose plan in place, and you've already had practice of leaving a positive legacy with your colleagues.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you. And purpose is a running theme in your presentation. How important is it that today's leader understands the power of purpose?
I think that there are so many changes going on and so many forces that are happening with our world today. Technological changes, social changes, financial changes. I mean, really huge changes that are coming so fast. It's really hard for us to keep up with them. But it's like having a true north or a compass. If you understand the purpose of your organization, not just what you do and how you do it, but why? Why do we do this? So that you can remember when all of these forces are hitting you, that you stay true to your core purpose and you live that out. You share that with your employees and your customers and your shareholders if you have them, and that will help you stay true to yourself. And I think the other thing, Janet, is that employee engagement is horrible right now. I think it's under 30%. And I think that it's up to us as individual contributors not to leave it up to just the managers and leaders of companies to engage us. I think that we're all adults and we should do this work to at least meet them halfway and let them know, what is it that I want to do that would engage me and make me passionate in my work.
Okay, very good.
Right.
Thank you. A couple more.
Sure.
You talked about servant leadership. What did it look like at a manufacturing company?
Oh, good question. At a manufacturing company, there's a really interesting thing that I noted about manufacturing, because I said I'd never worked there in that environment before. I was used to working, well, certainly most freshly out of a legal field, right? So in a law office, you often have every single attorney, they work together in a law firm, but there's quite a bit of competition in a law firm as well. And any individual attorney could actually leave that law firm and hang a shingle out and be a law firm, basically. So, but in a manufacturing world, it's completely different. What you have there are a collective of individuals who are trying to work together in a very complex environment, from selling to placing orders, to ordering all the parts that you need, to getting those parts in, to putting them all together and testing them and shipping them. And to do this in order to meet client commitments I was fascinated by the process. So at the beginning, when I first started working for this manufacturing company, actually our on-time delivery was very low. It was in 20% or lower than that. And it seemed too complex to figure out how to solve that. But when we started thinking about servant leadership and helping each other, that we're all in this together, and on-time delivery is not just the responsibility of one department, but it's all of our responsibility. We stopped acting as silos, different departments. We stopped having excuses, and we started really looking at the root causes. And by the time I left, that on-time delivery number was 95% or 100 for more than a year.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a great example of servant leadership.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
All right, last question. What have you learned about that style of leadership since then?
Since leaving the manufacturing world, wow. Well, I think that one of the great joys that I have is that you can take a group of people who have not had the privilege of working together before, and at first you have no relationship with them whatsoever, and you have to build trust with them. And you start talking about this idea of servant leadership, and at first they're a little bit not sure. It almost sounds religious, or it certainly sounds soft, and you have to start to convince them that it isn't soft at all. It's actually harder than the traditional type of leadership, I think, because in the traditional type of leadership, you basically tell an employee what to do, how much you want, by when, and this is how much you'll pay them, and if that's what they produce, fine, and if not, they're out the door, and it's pretty simple, right? But in servant leadership, it's about influencing them to do their job. It's about inspiring them and equipping them to do their job, to get out of the way, to make sure that you don't have an overly bureaucratic system for them to be able to do their jobs, and to really help them be the best that they can be. And it's not just about being good people. It's not just about being nice. This is the other fallacy, is that it's about character, yes, but it's also about competency. And a servant leader makes sure that his or her employees have the competency that they need to get the job done.
Beautiful.
No, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for taking time out of your day to be a part of our executive series.
My pleasure.
And for those of you listening, we will be sending you a recording of this webcast. And if you'd like to stay connected to the Blanchard companies, you could do so by joining leaderchat.org. And if you'd like to learn more about the Ken Blanchard Executive MBA degree program, please feel free to contact me directly. And this concludes our executive series presentation.